I'm Fatima from Telesure. I'm an HR business partner and I'm responsible for the regions. Our head office is based in Johannesburg. We have approximately 3,300 staff, and we have regional offices in PE, East London, Durban and Cape Town, and my portfolio is then the regional offices.
Dalila Desnames, HR manager at Capita.
My name is Ruth Manning Dirts. I work for Takealot as the talent specialist.
My name is Nikki Ferreira. I'm the Associate Director for Human Resources for iPrio.
A nice thing for us at the moment is we were into a transition, a change in CEO, and our current CEO was previously a managing director for our short-term insurance arena. And he started this theme, I'm going to call it theme, of your N-word and making us top class and sort of just breaking the barriers of setting barriers. So making us unstoppable, unconventional, unusual, everything related to un. And the nice thing about it is that we've rolled out road shows across the country. Where he kind of started the snowball, I'm going to call it the snowball effect, where he first took his executive team through all his ideas and his intentions with regards to making Telesure unstoppable, and then he had his executive team had sessions with their general management team, and sort of it filtered all the way down, and him and his team were present in all of those tiers of I'm going to call them road shows, and he had like full-day sessions with every level of management, and then it ended with himself having like an hour and a half to 2 hour session with the staff. And a lot of the focus has changed to open communication. You should feel free to email the CEO directly, despite there being 3,200 staff, and making suggestions and having platforms for just sharing. So for us, we can literally see in the span of the 3-month period how people have shifted their focus from management level as well as staffs, changing the way they're receiving messages, because previously communication, as much as we try as much as possible, we bombard them with emails and SMSs and WhatsApp messages or Facebook and things like that. They were not open, I'm not going to say open, but they were opposed to all of this communication. And now we're seeing that it's sort of like a two-way communication. And so they'll respond directly to an email that was sent from the CEO to maybe their general manager, which they would never have done, just because I think of the effect that this snowball of making Telesure an unstoppable company has had on the staff. And we have a lot of smaller things, like we have Friends in Need fund, as opposed to having a year-end function. We invest that money into a fund where staff can nominate deserving colleagues going through a difficult time, maybe a single mom who wants to send a child to college. Those kind of things have been retention tools for us, because the message spreads, you know. And if we have top achievers previously, we were not pro re-employing people who've left us. So now we're offering them the option: you're going away to the greener pastures. If it doesn't work out, feel free to give us a call and come back. And those kind of things I've seen in the last period have just gone or counted in our favor.
Unless you see the bigger picture, unless you see how your work contributes to the wider organization, what it's striving to do and what it's striving to achieve, you won't necessarily be feeling valued, or that you're able to contribute, that you can see the bigger picture, that you can see how everybody within the organisation is working towards the same goal, and that you all have a part to play. So that, in terms of engagement, is extremely pivotal, and one of the key aspects, I would say, in terms of being able to engage a workforce and be able to drive high performance. Communication. Ultimately, it's about firstly establishing what the goals of the organisation are, what is the vision, what is it hoping to achieve, and to communicate that across the entire organisation so that every employee knows what they're working to and how their particular role sits within that. And so that ownership is wide and is spread throughout the organisation, is done through conversations with management, is done through regular feedback conversations, is communicating the bigger picture and where the role ultimately fits within the bigger picture.
So the companies that I've been working in have been very much in a startup sort of phase in terms of HR. And so the questions are a lot about how do we communicate, at what point do we communicate to people, and what does that look like exactly? Who do we get involved? So I think from my perspective, it is as soon as, or even before you interview someone. So it starts with a job ad. It's about trying to figure out what is that, what does it look like, what will the outputs be, and once they come into the organization, it's about constantly chatting, whether it's a buddy or Sherpa program or buddy system. It's making information available to them, and it's about sort of highlighting the effect that their work has on the organization and how they fit into the bigger picture and into the successes. And even when there aren't any successes, it's about just basically showing someone whatever you do, this is the outcome. So whether it be good or bad, and it's about how do we manage that as well.
In our industry, if you look at the individuals that work in our industry, people move quite freely and quite quickly for the smallest things. So to hold on to individuals in our industry, you have to really tie into their emotions. And I think that if you don't give them a purpose, it's very easy for people to leave. And I think that the reason attrition is so high in our industry is because you can move from one place to another. There's no real, I've bought into my manager. There's often, kind of just, it's around the metrics. This is what we need to achieve. And there's little around relationships. Then you think, you throw a lot of there's the coffee machines and the this and the that, and they're great, but it's all very superficial. So they last, but they last for so long. And I think the person who discovers or finds out how to really go almost a level down to engage with somebody in terms of saying, I'm helping you discover your purpose and I'm helping you create a career, is going to make a lot of money in this industry, because you're going to find a way of getting people to stay on board for a lot longer. So this is where, for me, your engagement strategy becomes so important, because it has to be underpinned by your values, and you have to have your entire workforce, especially in an Asian population that is so big, if you look at some of our big competitors, and tie them into your values, So in terms of the question, I think that, we've managed to find certain ways of engaging our people that is not just about the superficial stuff. It's about saying, I'm going to have a conversation with you, I'm putting the metrics aside, and I'm having a relationship with you, and I want to really better this relationship and help you grow in your career.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.